Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, featuring today a 1 versus 1 on Angoville. The fields of Angoville shall be where the fight shall be taking place today. We shall be watching TDG fighting for the Americans, fighting for the 3rd Armored Division, rolling out in the name of Uncle Sam, going up against ROM, Reign of Madness, Darealslimshady, fighting for the Wehrmacht, fighting for the, let's say, 328th Infantry Division. Apparently Darealslimshady already having a bit of typing issues initially, and this does not bode well. Pioneers spreading out to either side. And of course the same here going on with the engineers. So far 2 engineers, 2 pioneers from either side. But no, quickly, Darealslimshady quickly focuses on the west, and this is certainly something that happens more often on Angoville than other maps with the Wehrmacht, that they tend to sort of focus more on one side, basically just focusing, because otherwise they can risk quickly getting overwhelmed due to the bocage in the buildings, rather allowing Americans to quickly creep up on them. Plus the fact that the strategic points are extremely vulnerable to this. And for that reason, most Wehrmacht players tend to sort of bunch more up here on Angoville, which can also in some ways actually get a bit boring, but certainly also highlights again that things are perhaps a bit none too easy for the Wehrmacht there. Volksguns quickly shifting up, Pioneers quickly moving on to the fuel, and now go Rifle now focusing a bit more on the east, so initially there won't be any major aggression between the two sides, although now Pioneers are shifting. So of course, I mean, you can do this, and personally I might also do this, and this is largely because, again, this is sort of the theory that you'll advance on 2 sides, either where one of them is going to be the major point of contention, the other one sort of like, and there one you can actually harass a bit more perhaps, and catch the American a bit unaware, and perhaps also gain some extra territory, at least temporarily. Again, that is my theory. I'm not claiming, of course, it is perfect, or universal, or the one theory ought to beat all other theories, just, you know, my approach. But we are seeing the Americans pushing up rather heavily here. Volksguns is now pushing out up on the west, forcing away the engineers there. 2nd squad of riflemen ready, and a 2nd squad of Volksguns out there for the 328th Infantry Division. Points are being secured, riflemen moving in. Fun fact about a lot of the infantry units sort of holding up in Germany, I mean in northern France, I mean a lot of them were sort of static divisions, this one wasn't. But I mean, they had also had a large amount of actually, you know, Russian volunteers or Eastern volunteers, could also be all Georgian and all of that, who have been sent over there after having been deemed not too trustworthy on the Eastern Front. Oh, engineers almost done, but the Volksguns themselves are pushed away. And also another fun fact is a lot of divisions sort of had a mix of artillery, for example. Some of them had French artillery from World War I, some of them had Russian artillery captured from the Eastern Front, and some had Czechoslovakian artillery. There's a bit of a mix of that. And some just had some really, really big anti-tank guns for no apparent reason, but that was apparently all they could get. So they'd get Pak 43s, which were basically anti-tank guns with the same firepower of the King Tiger. But now an MG42 pops out there, and already there, I mean, note within initially, TDG has gained quite the advantage. He's cut off. I mean, Darealslimshady is already in a bit of a bind. We are seeing a Jeep moving in, firing away with its air-cooled 30 caliber machine gun, gunning down some krauts. And there we go, to the MG42 opening up on the rifle and quickly suppressing them. Nicely done, Helmut. And the Volksguns then pushing off quickly, sending the Jeep scurrying back as well. Well, a bit of harassment war seems to be going on here, although it looks like to be a standoff soon to be won by the engineers, since they do gain a flamethrower. Plus a Jeep. Riflemen are slightly pulling back here, perhaps from harassment, although already having disabled the fuel point. Not in a sense that's permanently or even needs repairs, but basically it's rendered neutral, and thus, I mean, even if Slimshady connects, of course, he's going to have to spend time recapturing it, sending in the MG42 to try and deal with the Americans. The Americans quickly running up behind what looks like some sort of thing for animals. And of course, quickly getting cover from the MG42. Another rifleman squad up, could hit them in the rear. Riflemen pulling further and further back. The MG42 sneaking further and further up. Another MG42 left to cover there. Volksguns dueling with the riflemen all as they advance towards this point. MG42 setting up, but at the same time, the riflemen are advancing in. The MG42 opens up and does manage to suppress. Then the MP40 joining in the Volksguns, but the MG42 is taking heavy losses and is pushed off. The carnage continues. TDG leads the charge against the 382nd. MG42 and quickly drops an engineer, gunning him down in the shrubbery. More rifle now advancing, but now they are caught in the line of fire of the MG42, streaming down a hailstorm of bullets, sawing down men and stuff alike. But there we go, Jeep moving in and Freifman flanking nicely down. The Pioneers could even go down. One at least is down. The MG42 gets pushed off. Another horrific turnabout for the real Slim Shady within, I mean, the 5 first minutes of the game. He's already been pushed off quite a few times. And he doesn't really have a solid map control. And again, sending in some units to take the point and cut off, harass. Well, basically only one squad and a Jeep is holding back the men of the Wehrmacht. More riflemen now rolling up. Trier center going up. TDG thinking ahead. But we are seeing a quick counterattack, although some of the Volksguys ordered into the counterattack are in nowhere a good position. Very low on health. They are going to be, yes indeed, easy targets and quickly dropped. I mean, this is a bit unfortunate. Of course, he might not have teched up, so of course there's not much for him to do. But even then, I mean, this is practically free veterancy for your opponent, or free experience anyways. So that was a bit unfortunate right there for the real Slim Shady. The MG42 though opens up, and there we go. He's finally sent off, but has nonetheless done great harm to the real Slim Shady and 382nd within a few minutes. Already twice, you know, harassing, cutting off the fuel for him, and you know, killing quite a few Volksgrenadiers. But now the real Slim Shady is pushing back once more for the Varsland. Other troops are reinforcing, and we'll of course have to see how this works out. Oh, mine goes soft. The real Slim Shady had mine, and the Jeep is lost to that, tragically crashing into the bocage.
We're losing ground out there.
Sadly enough, he was not able to perhaps, you know, follow up with a coup de grace and actually mine all of this area behind him while he was busy fighting. Although the MG40 is going to get rushed by some flamethrowers, that's definitely nice. Could see another push from TDG. Oh, the MG managed to stop the engineers, but the MG engineers are actually hiding behind a bit of heavy cover. It's not quite pinned yet, and they are trying their best to burn the MG crew. Sadly, Hank bites it, finding no comfort with the broken well, car. I'm not sure what type that car that is. Oh, Bran, and what is this? We're now seeing grenades. TDG upping the infantry fight. Of course, he knows he can do this, right? Because again, he's actually done quite a great job at harassing the fuel of the real Slim Shady. So he knows Slim Shady can't just, you know, run off and get some, you know, high-tech stuff right away. So in that sense, he knows he can, if he wants to, push the infantry advantage. And he's clearly doing so. Soon going to get grenades and stuff them down some German throats. Moving up on several points. And there we go, of course, a problem presents itself for the real Slim Shady. He has to cover so much. And the rifleman moving in, and again with grenades, just one needs to slip through and he's already in trouble. There we go, the grenades are flying through the air, threatening to kill anyone, but so far not quite managing. The Volksguys are simply caught out in the open in a gauntlet, and grenades! Oh! Several Volksguys going down, heavy losses for the Wehrmacht. For the Fatherland goes up, but even that might not be enough, and there we go, one squad down, veterancy won within 10 minutes. This is just horrific for the Wehrmacht. And he's of course gone defensive, he's pulling up behind the medic bunker, the medics are pulling in the wounded. At the same time, right as soon as TDG spots it, he goes for a demo charge. He's going to plant some explosive, and he's going to blow that bunker up. Does not want to take any chance that might be the Führer bunker that Hitler is by some bizarre chance hiding, or of course, simply the medics. Ralph now getting suppressed, and he's not going to be hanging out for much longer. He just needs enough time to get that charge down and blow that bunker up. And 1, 2, 3, come on, there we go. And Kriegberg's actually up, so in this case, the real Slim Shady, of course, might have a chance of breaking up with some more tough infantry, but at the same time, of course, he might not have something quickly to sort of lay down the pressure. Demo charge almost down on the medic bunker. Retreat! And of course, the Volksguys also need to get away. They need to get out of the blast zone, otherwise, I mean, there we go. Medic bunker gone. Excellent pressure by TDG. TDG, yeah. Keep messing that up. They sound too much like each other, those three, just with some slight phoneme changes or whatever it's called, the linguistics part, which I thankfully forgot and have happily repressed. But already now moving on to Browning automatics going up for supply yard as well. Good, good. I mean, the only thing you really need to sort of really make this awesome or spectacular is a medic station. I mean, just add in a medic station to all of this, and he's going to really be able to wreak some havoc and, of course, absorb more losses in the longer run and slowly gain a greater force.
Yeah.
And again, that could sort of be, you know, the coup de grace against the Darealslimshady, who's busy laying down mines to protect his few points. Definitely not a bad idea. Perhaps being a bit non-cooperative. And there we go, the mine is off. Riflemen are pushed away by the MD-42 hiding in a crater. The center right here, though, is pretty exposed by any American push, and he's only got 2 full-scale squads covered. But no, snipers now out to try and drain the American infantry that way. Well, the Brownings are ready. Another bunker up, at least the Darealslimshady is consistent, and in fact, let's go look at him. Actually does have a decent amount of fuel nonetheless. But he certainly has suffered quite a bit. Full scale squads gone, pioneers, and a bunker already lost. That is quite expensive. And we're actually seeing a second sniper out. So in that sense, he's actually trying to sort of drain TDG quickly. Simply through sniper fire. There we go, the bunker's up. Medic bunker upgrade on the way. Fultzman's been forcing near the bunker. Fraps being a bit silly. But at least this time he's actually able to force away TDG, but without getting completely thrown off the battlefield. And that is a small victory for the 328th. Which did fight alongside the 352nd, or at least possibly just provided them an grenadier battalion. Can't fully remember that. I need to reread Normandy Front, which is quite an excellent book if you're curious about the state of some of the German troops in Normandy. There is one called The Germans in Normandy or something by another guy. Don't read that. That's basically just one long complaint. Oh, the Luftwaffe isn't there, without actually ever really bothering going into detail about the German army in Normandy. But the Volkswagen are getting rushed by riflemen, quickly run off. Snipers here too, I mean, just tearing through the Americans. They're trying to get the snipers, but I mean, they're just getting shot in the face. Mines going down the road. Excellent choice then mining there as well. Still would love to see a medic station for TDG. Of course, now might be the time to go for some armor. Roll in some tanks and roll up some krauts. But nice move there. Of course, you could consider mining a bit more, and that's only one thing that could be said to be lacking for TDG. And no mines really again, sort of, you know, take advantage, you know, follow up on the advantage, you know, pushing them off, and then make it even harder for the Darealslimshady to come back. I mean, if he laid down some mines again, that is what would happen. Snipers moving in, getting the engineers, and the lousy Flammenwerfer. Of course, that's definitely one thing that's also going to be interesting in company views too. Of course, you can actually now pick up things like flamethrowers. So that actually means, you know, in case you might have some grenadiers walking around with a flamethrower and perhaps an MG, or for that matter, conscripts with them. So certainly something to consider there. Tank depot going up for TDG. Observation post up, so clearly he's sort of hoping to get the really, you know, powering into armor. Not a bad idea. Pack up. The Darealslimshady is definitely expecting something, but perhaps, you know, not a Sherman tank. And certainly Helmut there looks a bit nervous. He can feel it in his bones. Grenadiers on their way for the Darealslimshady. Pushing up there, full supporting by a sniper. Engineers quickly getting dropped. Again, tragically, no mines there. That could easily have done something against the Fultz Grenadiers. We are seeing a push in by TDG. More riflemen moving in. Tank depot almost done. Riflemen taking up position in the nearby house. Of course, they're going to be targets for the snipes. And there we go. 2 people already down like ducks in a shooting gallery. There we go. The Grenadiers are ready. And the Volksguns here find themselves run off the field. Bit of sniper fire not quite hitting. Tank depot ready. Mine off, but riflemen do survive. Only one squad left to hold back the German tide. No real effort towards here. Perhaps worried that Darealslimshady is dug in too hard, which would not be a completely unreasonable assumption.
Yes, sir. Veterancy gained.
And of course, I mean, for example, if you want to sort of take some fun, look at the difference between a American armored division and a German panzer division. I mean, in that sense, I mean, the Americans about had the same amount of tanks in the division as the Germans were. The difference was the Germans again sort of more focused on a full combined arms suite, force that had much more infantry and such. I mean, the American division on the other hand actually had a much lower infantry complement and probably even some other bits. I mean, basically just there for the tanks. In some cases, they were also basically handing out the tanks to other units. So in that sense, they were not quite the sort of concentrated force as the Germans and how they use their panzer divisions. Not to say the Germans didn't parcel out the units and panzers and all that, but again, the German panzer division also sort of more meant to be used in force as one piece as well. Which, fun little fact there. Pushing on. And there we go, the tank depot is flashing up, lighting up. And the grenadier squad reformed. Grenadiers getting a panzer trying to clear out that observation post. And of course trying to knock it out. Will the riflemen be able to stop the grenadiers in time? And they do veterancy 2 up for the German infantry, making them tougher. Well, they are going to run through quite the gauntlet of Americans. Snipers also trying to get away. Send them in. Stop telling me about it. I don't get what is with people, saying, "Oh, I've got replays for you." Well, send them in. I can't watch them if you don't send them in. You don't need my permission to send them in. Just send them in. I'll sort it out myself. Just, don't necessarily expect me to actually cast them. That, of course, is always the difference. False guys and MG, though, getting hunted down a bit here. Caught a bit off guard. Another panzer check, and apparently Mr. Slim Shady's hearing something. Igor's actually moving the pack. And the Sherman's moving up to right here. Going to push against the crouch. MG setting up there. Troops reinforcing. There's actually a mine there now, and he's repairing the observation post. Lovely. Lovely.
Sniper ready to engage.
A bit of quiet from both sides as they are preparing.
Ready?
Darealslimshady apparently expecting something here. Moving in grenadiers with large quantity of panzer and a pack. Sniper opening up. And there we go, leading the push. Rather here fighting against the Volkskrieger, but they're getting suppressed. The Volkskrieger is getting run off, but another push going in through the center here. They're also getting stopped by enemy forces. And there we go, main assault going in. Sherman charges ahead. Although the Sherman is already taking heavy damage from Panzer and the pack. Ooh, Volkskrieger squad almost down. Mine was cooked. Sniper down. Sherman, though, is going to go down, I fear. Does manage to get a few grenadiers in the process, and there we go, full retreat there. Pack could even find itself cleared out. He tries to grenade it, but the pack is already moving. And the assault here is certainly not faring too well. Might as well have focused more forces up here to support the Sherman. I think that could actually probably have finished off quite a great deal from Darealslimshady. Now that was an engagement which I'm not entirely sure was to the advantage of TDG, unlike some of the previous ones.
Great, another
Considering, I mean, he lost a Sherman in a few seconds. And while he did get a sniper and a few false guns overall, he actually suffered quite a bit on a larger scale. Sherman rolling up now, completely unsupported. Rather swinging wildly there, TDG. And going in for the observation post again with grenadiers. And this time getting the target. More grenadiers, he's pretty much dual equipping all of his grenadiers. That's a bit high risk as well. I mean, this could easily end up with a few Panzerx in the hands of the Americans. If of course, you know, they were to push properly.
The Americans are capturing a
Not
sector.
entirely sure what's going on with flips this time around. And there we go, mine actually going off, killing and wounding a few. Oh, the sniper was pretty lucky, he didn't get killed in that blast. Otherwise that would definitely have been huge for TDG. And let's return to him. 6 command points, no doctrine though, that is not necessarily good. Oh, Sherman gets in, dodges both Panzerschreck rockets and completely wipes out 2 grenadiers. One more shot. Well, at least something moving in. Pack spotted. Pack decrewed, in fact. Looks like it. Engineers moving up, and there we go. Pack decrewed. MG setting up right in front of this. This is chaos. This is carnage. I fear the MG crew might not be able to get out of there. And there we go. Pack stolen. MG decrewed. Medic bunker going down. And there we go. Seizing an MG42 from the Germans as well. This is a huge blow to the Darealslimshady. Huge. But at the same time, looks like the 328th are getting some assistance from the 2nd Panzer Division, providing a platoon of Panzer IVs, probably to provide some assistance and try and stem the Yankee tide. No supplied upgrades. Could get a 2nd Sherman. Oh, mine goes off, damaging the engine. Seems quite intent on moving through there, but at least he's holding the cutoff point. Mining down. Excellent, excellent. Would also be an idea to mine down there. We are seeing a quick response from the Germans. Grenadiers with Panzerx. Full grenadiers. Perhaps even the sniper. Yes, indeed. And this German quickly needs repairs. MG setting up. Pack pulling back. In fact, rushing rather far back. Perhaps a bit too far. Panzerkampfwagen 4 rolls out. Not quite factory fresh, though. And the grenadiers are moving in. One rocket actually connects it. The rest, other one doesn't quite. And the MD-42 quickly is pushed away due to the presence of the sniper. Flamethrowers charging into the grenadiers, catching them out in the open. Riflemen also launching themselves in. More Panzerx killing a gunner, but not quite, you know, landing a killing blow. Mine going off here, damaging the engine of the Panzer IV. Pack could be pushed up. And the grenadiers themselves also run off, in fact, down to 1 man. This is some rather bloody fighting. A desperate counter-attack by the Darealslimshady to sort of restore a semblance of order and regain some sort of map control again. Sniper up to 19 kills. He is a bit vulnerable. 2nd Sherman on the way. Things here should hopefully be reinforcing anytime soon. Of course, he could still do with a supply upgrade, and he also needs to use his doctrines. I mean, there's so much he can do. In fact, he could just go armor now and get some field repairs and quickly get that Sherman running again. There's a lot of things he could be doing, but again, you know, you should be careful about delaying points. And you might say, well, I'm waiting to see what my opponent is doing, but trouble is, then again, you're rather playing by what he wants you to. I mean, that's sort of a more dangerous thing you have to be careful about it. Otherwise, again, you could be a bit more reactive. And again, I think, you know, had he had a pack, you know, he could also much, I mean, artillery, for example, infantry, he could much easier dealt with a pack up here, you know. He would, oh, it's a pack, well, let's call in some artillery. Problem solved. He couldn't even push away the grenadiers. Airborne, strafing run, lots of these sort of things. But, well, you know, even army against, you know, field repairs, but again, so far nothing is happening. And he's again, you know, floating quite a bit of resources.
Win this war by
Pack getting sniped, a bit unfortunate. 2nd Panzer IV rolls out. Sherman getting repaired. Sherman number 2 moving in. 50 caliber on the way. No upgunning, that could be nice. I think he's being a bit too aggressive with that Sherman. Quickly risking a lot of Panzerschrecks. Will the Sherman escape the clutches of the Wehrmacht? Looks like it, looks like it. Grenadiers advancing straight into the MG-42. Panzer IV gets a nice shot with the pack. Almost ready as well. Sniper. Ooh, already got one of the pack gunners. No, he actually pulls back.
The enemy is after our victory.
But another reason, to not, save a lot of points is, in fact, you gain points slower after a certain point. I mean, after 3 command points, the rate at which you gain them is actually slower. So in that sense, there's no point actually accumulating them. You might as well just spend them towards what you want, because then you'll actually get to it faster. Rather than, again, trying to lump up as many as you can. So again, a little secret there. Sherman ready again. Rather than advancing first. Sherman following up. No upgun for that. Still no doctrinal choice. And we are seeing radius artillery going down. Rifleman Fulskin's fighting over on the right hand side. The Fulskin's not quite firing as well. Same happens here on the west side. And just a hailstorm of Panzerschrecks flying through the air, but only a few of them connecting. And Fulskin's run off there. Sherman pulling back. Still no supply to upgrade. That's a bit tragic. Again, he would benefit from that as well in the longer run. In particular, now that he's floating. Well, he's probably going for a Pershing, but still. Again, there's a lot of signs indicating. Again, probably in that sense. I mean, Darealslimshady we always be expecting, because again, he's not seeing any other sign of doctrine. And there we go. Of course, he's now got it. But again, he could have gotten it earlier, and just spent more points a bit earlier. Again, then things overall would have gone a bit faster. Of light fighting over here, rather than following up on the road. Ooh, mine, Minen. Oh, and he ran. Otherwise, I mean, he'd been able to note. Oh, there's a Panzerschreck right there. Could have picked up. That's a bit of a miss there. Pershing can be called in. At the same time, Flak 88 going up. Heavy anti-aircraft gun provided by some Luftwaffe Flak regiment. As most infantry divisions did not have this sort of thing available. The only units sort of have, their own heavy panzer divisions. Otherwise, I mean, they would have to be provided by the Luftwaffe. Such units. Still no Pershing, although we are seeing the supply upgrade going about. Finally. Mine down there, slightly pulling back for now. Not a bad idea. Troops getting sniped by the sound of things. Panzer force patrolling, but no veterancy for them. Bit of a shame then. The meanwhile, folks are simply getting hunted down here and gutted, dying on the ground where they stand or lie. Oh dear. Could it be they actually got the German sniper? That would actually be a huge loss. We are seeing an attempt right here by TDG to actually charge in and clear it out. Riflemen heroically barreling their way in, clearing it out with the grenades, but at the same time they're taking heavy losses, and we are seeing the escort quickly moving in, although of course at the same time, if they recruit, they won't be quite able to use those grenades, of course, because they'll be depleted for that purpose. These troops, these things don't need repairs, and there's no engineers doing the work. Come on, TDG. Get that Pershing out as well, mate. What's going to see the Panzerschreck holding up, Rifleman holding up there. Come on. Now, of course, quickly the grenadiers are reinforcing the Panzer force rolling towards the east. Still no sign of the mighty Pershing, which of course did not fight in Normandy. And there goes actually pushing ahead without having fully repaired them against the Flak 88. That is dangerous. Of course, he could get off field repairs as soon as his first shot connects. That would be a nice idea. But he has to do it. Come on now. Field repairs. You don't want to lose any armor necessarily. Focusing down. The flank, 88 flamethrowers following up. That is good, that is good.
All units. Light vehicles may now advance and capture territory.
Flamethrowers trying to clear out the grenadiers, but they don't quite succeed. But there we go. Finally killing them. Where are the riflemen? For heaven's sake, TDG hasn't been reinforcing them either as well. So many opportunities missed there to pull off a good assault. Oh dear, oh dear. We are seeing the pack, we are seeing the MG, we are seeing now some slightly reinforced infantry. We're going to get not fast enough. Ooh, troops are clumped up. And again, field repairs goes up. MG sets up. Pack fires away. Grenadiers and Fultons are getting absolutely murdered. You could even see a Panzer IV go down. Although it would help not to expose the rear. And there we go, Panzer IV down, Veterans who won. Quickly get those chaps reinforced, quickly move them up.
Down to 300 points.
He could send that Sherman in again to aid. Clear up those Grenadiers. Well, would describe currently as one of the bigger threats. Going for the fuel point there. Nice, nice. But the Darealslimshady, in fact, let's return to him. At the same time, oh, he's preparing for a heavy rocket barrage. Careful, careful. Don't want to provide too an easy target. You know your opponent's defensive. You must also know thus. Of course, he has a chance of getting rocket artillery. And there we go. Ah, no, TDG, what are you doing? You're stopping up, right? You must have seen the smoke. And that is why you don't clump up with your armor. And again, you know, also be aware again that defensive commander still have access to rocket artillery. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a game-turning moment. In 1 second, he just lost more than 1,000 manpowers worth of resources. Sure, he did a lot of damage, but at the same time, he just had that nullified. If not more than nullified. Oh, the sniper's there, apparently. Or is that a new one? Grenade goes in. Sniper escapes. And we actually see Veterans who won for the MG42. Fancy that. Troops are reinforcing. Grenadiers reformed. The medic bunkers, though, despite, you know, actually having had to rebuild them quite a few times, and thus probably also spending resources enough to get one of those Grenadier squads he currently has, they're still paying themselves off a bit. But definitely, again, here, that was not a good moment for TDG. He should have spread out the armor a bit, or at least not left it so close to the goddamn front line like that. Grenades getting lobbed. Not quite doing any damage there. Still no veterancy for the Panzers. And he's getting another Panzer IV. And quickly taking the pack back. Let's just speed this up a bit. Mine goes off there, stops the Grenadiers. And there we go, quickly forming up for a counter-attack. Moving out in force, actually. With a bit of Browning automatics, a bit of Panzerschreck, a bit of Sniper, and a bit of Kar-98K. No response from TDG, of course, is also prompt and swift. He's actually got quite a few units at Veterancy too. That is definitely also worthy of notice. So, advancing there. Some of the parts hitting a mine, not quite doing as well. Others are advancing quite nicely. Grenades going in. Grenadiers pushed away. Fultz Grenadiers still holding the line. Panzer IV flushed into the madness to try and contain before the Fatherland pops out. Still results in a fully health squad, more or less retreating, or at least fully numbered squad. Sticky bomb goes off on a Panzer IV. More grenades. Doing a bit of damage, and Veterancy 2 engineers. My goodness. Thank you. Another sticky bomb. And some Grenadiers advancing on the engineers right about here as well. Things are quickly falling apart for TDG, but he is quickly fast-tracking and purging in through the main road. Lucky there wasn't a mine there. Going in for the Panzer IV, but again he has to be wary, although doing his best to deal with grenadiers in the house. Grenades, flamethrowers. But there are Panzer IVs surrounding the Pershing. Panzer Czechs and now pack arriving. He quickly pulls them away, the Pershing realizing this was actually a pretty bad idea, charging it in like that. Might want to focus down on the Grenadiers first. They are the ones with the more anti-tank power, and of course the squishier targets, thus easier to clear out than a Panzer IV. And of course there's another thing, you know, sometimes consider what is the easiest to clear out while still, you know, possessing some value to get cleared out. Like for example, if you have armor and there's a lot of Grenadiers with Panzer X, you know, clearing out the Grenadiers first, you know, for example, then save the Panzer first, you know, might be a better idea. But TDG again, definitely on the back foot there. Definitely a bit reckless, and that is cost him. We're lining up for another assault. Nothing going on here. Right, we're moving in. Probably going to try and get close with some sticky bombs to the Panzer IV. And there we go. Repair bunker up. Veteran 2 for the Panzers on the way as well. And the Pershing not fully repaired is also moving in. That definitely has to be something that has to be careful about. There's now actually 3 Panzer IVs on the field. Although so far the shots are bouncing off quite nicely. Some riflemen hiding, it seems. There we go, the guys are moving in. Oh, nice hit just as they were all about to enter the building. 3 of them get absolutely smashed against the door and the wall by a high explosive round, finishing that. But the Pershing quickly pulls back. German armor and infantry advances, while on the west side things are doing less greatly for TDG as well. And there we go. Veteran 2 with the Panzer IVs, adding a machine gunner on top. Things are definitely getting a bit desperate for TDG. Oh, the pack moving out right in front of the MG. That was bloody lucky. That could easily have gone wrong, in particular considering that MG-42 actually has a Veteran 1. Giving that quite a few bonuses. Ooh, Frontman is quickly dealt with. Shot down in their prime. Got a sniper and some Panzer IVs plus some Grenadiers. We'll quickly sort that out. Although again, you know, dual equipping those Panzer X does leave them a lot less effective against infantry. Tank destroyers now arriving. Could be a nice armored push by TDG. And Veteran 3 for the infantry. And the Panzer IVs are moving in. Pack moving in. He's probably expecting there's going to be a larger push in. Of course, this is nice armor country. Rather open. And there we go. Opening up on the Pershing. Probably a bit thanks to the help of the increased line of sight from strategic points plus the sniper. But there we go. Pershing moving ahead. TDG charging in. Allied war machine up. Pershing though getting targeted down in fact. Already out of control. There we go, Panzer IV down, but Pershing gone, and he might even lose at least 1 tank destroyer. And only really knocking out 1 thing, so of course the question is, was that really worth it?
Rocket battery available.
And perhaps he wanted Sherman to sort of help deal with the infantry. Again, the Grenadiers proving quite helpful and not really being dealt with. I mean, it seems like here in this case he might be focusing a bit too much on the armor first. and not the more squishy grenadiers with lots of Panzerschrecks. And certainly not supporting it with, you know, infantry again, which is also seems a bit of an unfortunate thing. But now pushing up on the left-hand side.
200 points.
But of course, there's considerably less resistance, at least for now. Although there are still grenadiers heavily equipped, and this time not dual equipped though. One already crushed beneath the treads of the M10. The Wolverine turning them into a rather unsavory jam. Medic bunker quickly under fire, and there we go. Panzer force are rolling in. The ones that are remaining though. And of course now there are no grenadiers with Panzerschrecks to help, so of course these Panzer forces can now quickly go down. But again, he needs support. And there we go, another rocket barrage going in. Oh, direct hit on the Pershing with one rocket at the very least.
The enemy is down to 3.
Panzer IV almost down. Pack nearby. There we go, Panzer IV out of control. Riflemen advancing up here, sending away the Germans. Field repairs up, and there we go. Panzer IV down. The other one's actually pushing in. Darealslimshady might be getting a bit aggressive. Also, interesting enough, Darealslimshady has yet to bother with, say, something like a Panther. I would have imagined, you know, that certainly would have gone for myself. As soon as I knew that my opponent had gone for armor, I would go for a Panther. I mean, just one, you know, to help, but at least one Panther. But certainly no kudos to him for going Panzer Force effective against armor and infantry. Pershing needs to be careful. And again, he missed, I think, a nice opportunity here to just clear out a nice bunch of grenadiers, all clamped up. And that sniper just continues to wreak havoc. But there we go. Grenadier squad almost wiped out to a man. But now there's not much left in TDG and the 3rd Armoured Division. The 328th are still holding on, and now a Calliope rolls onto the field. Going to add some rockets to the fun. And there we go. Nice amount of rockets. Rather clumped up. Infantry retreats. And the pack, not quite down actually. And the riflemen right here are caught out in the open by quite the sizable Volksgrenadier force. Veterans are free. Quickly ending the reign of the riflemen while the pack here gets rushed. The medic bunker is still standing. And there's still a Panzer IV proving to be a nuisance as well. Sticky bomb, sticky bomb, sticky bomb, sticky bomb. And damaged engine. That Panzer IV won't be going anywhere anytime soon. But of course now the slightly darker things of TDG strategy of course are clearly present now. Of course he's rather drained himself out. And again, if he had a medic station, he might have been able to present some more infantry forces to again, you know, keep up increased pressure against the Darealslimshady. And he's advancing. Hoping to get off a fusillade of Panzerschrecks, it looks like. And some more forces advancing on the east. And again, note, the reason this thing isn't firing is because it was actually using the main gun as a stabilizer. If that gun fired, the whole thing would tumble off. Although, of course, initially they were not really actually decided to be continuing firing. I mean, basically, you know, they could, you know, just be thrown off and they could just continue and fight like a regular tank. But again, at the expense, you know, of the rocket mount on top getting removed. Pershing still not repaired. Riflemen charging in. And another Flag 88 is up and registered. Oh! And there we go. TDG goes GG. Game over. The 3rd Armoured Division was crushed in the fields of Angoville. Blast beneath rockets. Not quite as much Flag 88 fire. I mean, great start from him. And really nice pressure, but I think there were some things lacking again. Initially was the medic station. Later on it became stuff like, you know, not actually expending his command points in time. And then the sort of mistake, the really thing I think lost him the fight was, you know, right about here, where he proceeded to have several units clamped up against an opponent he knew was defensive, and must have known he could have had a chance of rocket artillery, and then boom, he lost it all. Had that not happened, had Darealslimshady not been able to eliminate that with a rocket barrage, I think TDG could easily have won this. He would easily have been able to get more armor, keep up the pressure, but thanks to that rocket barrage, Darealslimshady was able to recuperate, he was able to recover and gain enough power to basically knock out TDG, who became slightly more desperate. He made some engagements here, and here that didn't quite work out in the end. Basically died. So, there you go. Hope you learned something from it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.